We're live. Countdown. Hello, I'm Willie Bragg. Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. And just in case you're not fully aware right now at the moment, there appears to be a military invasion of Ukraine by Russia. And, I don't like the fact that Russia is invading the Ukraine, but I also do not like the fact that the United States seemingly wants to get involved, because that's normally what the United States would do. I'm not American bashing. I'm just saying that we do not need to get involved with this. And, we can't afford it. I mean, there's a time we can't. They say we can't afford to do these social programs. We have to cut back on education, cut back on Social Security, cut back on this and that. That's all I ever hear. But there's something to cut back on, and that's military interventionism. Because what do you do with military interventionism? You break things, you destroy infrastructure, you kill people, and that's not positive at all. So I am going to make this video very short today because I just want to see how everything is going to turn out. But we have another, it looks like we have a mess in our hands right now. And I hope that this can be resolved as quickly as possible without any further escalation, and definitely no NATO involvement. But if I must say something here, my understanding that when the Soviet Union ceased to exist in 1991, and I think it was the very last day that it was December 31st was the actual last day of the Soviet Union in existence in 1991. I believe there were agreements being made that some of the nations that bordered Russia, or what would become the Russian Federation, would not be joining NATO. And no matter who's the president of Russia, whether it's Boris Yeltsin, Mikhail Gorbachev, or Vladimir Putin, the point I am trying to make is that there was an agreement, and they feel threatened with NATO kind of muscling in, whether that is NATO's intention or not. And frankly, I'm a pacifist, but let's say for a second that it served its usefulness during the Cold War. Well, the Cold War is over, or it should remain over, but there are people that wants to restart a Cold War again, and again, this is madness. And it really is, especially with Russia having nukes and the United States having nukes. And that's not a good situation to be in. And there's no good actor involved with this Russia-Ukraine conflict. It's not like, Russia is a big bad bully and Ukraine's just innocent and sweetness and nice and everything is sweetness and spice and everything nice. It's not like that. There are actual Nazis serving in the military and serving in the government of the Ukraine. So here's the thing. I mean, Vladimir Putin, his government is bad. So is the government of Ukraine. If there's a time not to intervene, this is even less justified to intervene than Iraq. And Iraq was nowhere close to justify going into in 2003. This is even less so. That's how wrong and immoral it is for the United States to go and get themselves involved. And here's another caveat to this: Russia's not a threat to the Western world as far as acquiring territory. They're not interested in that. They have some economic problems. They need some warm water ports, and that's troublesome on them. There are people who are Russian that live in the Ukraine too, and so I don't know too much as far as the Ukraine and its history. I mean, I probably know more than most people, but I do not know like 100% their history and everything. But what I can imagine is that probably a solution would be to divide the country between an eastern or an western Ukraine, which with eastern Ukraine obviously being Russian and Ukrainians being in what is western Ukraine. That would imagine that would be a solution, sort of like Czechoslovakia kind of split into the Czech Republic and Slovakia, and former Yugoslavia doing the same thing, um, fracturing into the Balkan states, kind of fracturing into separate little countries. Unfortunately, there was a war for, I guess, about a decade or so in the former Yugoslavia over this, and we really don't need to go and do that again. So right now, as I said, I'm going to keep this video relatively short to this morning, and urge each and every one of you to contact your members of Congress, contact the U.S. Senate, contact your U.S. senator, and contact, if possible, contact the White House, and just kind of calmly tell them that we can't afford to go to war. We are tired of being at war, and that we must find an alternative to war. And let President Biden know that it's not a sign of weakness to not engage in war. Let him know that too. That you need to go and resolve this as peacefully as one can. So anyway, that's basically my 2 cents worth this morning. So on the chat line here, we have Hot Retarded Checks. Good morning. How are you? And I am tired, as I normally say every morning when I do these videos. Working graveyard would do that to you. But suffice to say that I just wanted to make my case to everybody that we do not need to be going to war. Oh, we have Ben L. How are you doing, Ben L? So anyway, if you all like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree, comment anyway. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, and remember, there's a class struggle to wage, and we're all Julian Assange. I'm reluctant to play music to end this stream this morning, but I like to keep things consistent. So y'all take care.